that is missing. And this, I believe, is leadership. We have to have inspirational and effective leaders who will lead the country, who will lead the people of our country to achieve our true potential. You are all management students, and we talk about management systems to achieve effectiveness. However, I'd like to place before you a distinction between management and leadership. A leading management expert, Professor John Cotter of Harvard University, whom I had the honor of attending a whole day seminar with when I was at Harvard, observed this, and I quote, "Leadership is different from management, but not for the reasons most people think. Leadership is not mystical and mysterious. It has nothing to do with charisma, as most of us believe, or other exotic personality traits. It is not the province of a chosen few, nor is leadership necessarily better than management, or indeed a replacement for it." Unquote. Let me explain this a bit further. Management is about coping with complexity and large complex organizational systems. We can even look at a nation in this light as a large organization which needs to be managed. However, leadership is about coping with change as opposed to complexity. There are some important distinctions between these two. To deal with complexities, in management, we undertake things like planning and budgeting, that is, setting targets. In contrast, a leader sets a direction and gives a vision. To achieve a plan in management, we set up organizational structures and staff it with people. In leadership, to achieve the vision, we have to align people to do this. And finally, in management, we have to monitor the plan by controlling and problem solving. In the case of leadership, you need motivation and inspiration to keep going on that path despite setbacks and constraints. Both have to be done. However, I believe we are better in this country relatively at the management part, no doubt backed by talented people like you. But on the leadership side, I think we are weak. Leadership is about trust and belief in yourselves. It is about confidence and having the courage to make mistakes. And I would stress on this point. I remember when I had joined business, one of the earliest things that a senior colleague who was training me told me is said, "For God's sake, have the courage to make mistakes. Otherwise you're not going to do anything." So we need to have the courage to make mistakes if we want to be leaders. It is about taking on new challenges that come from change. Remember, we talked about leadership being managing the issue of change. For example, take the issues of environmental sustainability that your dean also talked about. These are current issues. In the past, our country got independence due to the vision and leadership provided by people like Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, etc. And business organizations like ours, for example, the JK organization, which has now been around for more than 100 years, benefited and grew from the leadership and vision provided by its founding fathers. I think we need to carry forward the legacy of the visionary leaders, businessmen, and entrepreneurs that our country has produced. Well, my dear students, as you leave today to start a new phase in your life full of hope, aspirations, and excitement, I want you to think about whether you want to be leaders or managers. Do you have the ability to dream more than what others think would be practical? Can you take risks more than what others think as safe? Are you willing to achieve more than what others think is possible? And will you spare some time to give back to society some part of what you have got from it in the first place? If you have this, then you can be a part of building a new, vibrant and prosperous India. And perhaps one day you will look back with pride and say to your children, yes, I was part of building this great country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful address. I'm sure all of us here have many takeaways from the address. Do I have your permission to declare the convocation closed? The convocation is closed. May I request the audience to please stand up for the national anthem?
Thank you.